Awesome. Very cool. So I think we are pretty much set. Looks like. Where's my phone?
And I can see that in YouTube, Piyush.
Awesome.
It's streaming.
Wonderful.
Okay, I'll also go on mute, Piyush, so that way.
Yeah, sure.
So we'll start in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think people are coming in.
Cool.
You're seeing my screen, right?
We can.
Okay, very good. All right, so we'll give a couple of minutes. All right, I think we can start. So welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at this time in the world. So somewhere it is 8 o'clock in the morning, right? So let's start our session today. So we have as we wanted to experiment and explore the collaboration tools. So we chose 3 tools: Miro, Mural, and Lucid charts. And what we have come up with is the first of that meeting here, where we have our speaker Divya, who's basically based out of Johannesburg, South Africa, and she will enlighten us on the tool Miro. And before I can hand over the ball to Divya, just make a quick note. So this has been possible because of couple of efforts from various areas. So one of them is our sponsor, Global Agility Consortium, who has been able to provide us this platform to have these sessions. And so we have our CTO of Global Agility, Ganesh, who actually helped to set this up, and we are able to do the live streaming so the recording can be made available. And I'll just quickly talk about what is Global Agility Consortium. It's basically like-minded for people of like-minded platform where we enable learning as a lifelong learning, and they are safe silver partners, and they encourage SPCs to become part of their consortium. So if you are interested, please feel to reach out to them and they can give you more information. And the other folks who have been instrumental is Parag Jain, who's a co-host with me, and I'm here as a co-host as well, and Divya is the speaker. So before I can hand over to Divya, just one suggestion is that since we are across the globe, it may be interesting to just put where you are located, just like how I have put my name and my location. Like I am in San Francisco. So if you can just change your name and with your location while I hand over to Divya. So Divya, all yours, take it away.
Thank you, Piyush. That was a very, very kind introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Divya Jain. I'm based out of Johannesburg, Lean Agile Coach. And yeah, I think he has said really good things about me. I'm not a Miro expert, but I'm hoping to learn with all of you today. For me, it's important that we all have fun and we all engage with the tool, because the best learning comes from enjoying something, right? So we're going to get started. I haven't created a beautiful presentation for us. I'm going to be using Miro for everything we do today. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fabulous. So welcome to the session. This is a Miro board. It's allowing me to show you a frame. That's what it's called. So as you can see here, the first thing that you see is the welcome note that I've put in as a frame, which basically means that you can run your presentations out of this tool. You can do facilitative sessions out of this tool. And as we move forward through our session, you will see the possibilities here, okay? And please feel free to jump in if you feel like, that's another brilliant thing she didn't talk about, but I know about it, because the whole group is going to benefit through it, okay? If you have a question, feel free to drop it on the chat. My cool friends, Piyush, as well as Parag, are going to help us with those questions, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is to say who's here. But even before you do that, it's important that you create a Miro profile, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop the Miro link on the chat. You might have already created your profile. If you haven't, please do that. There's also a how to create your profile. I'm going to walk you through it. And as you can see on the link itself, on the Miro board itself, it allowed me to create a hyperlink. You see, it took me to another source. So you can add hyperlinks to your frames, to your objects. So what I did here is I added a text message, which basically brought up all of these values here. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a bit. But to create your profile, because remember, we're going to do a little bit of stuff here so that you can enjoy it more than just, looking at me doing things on the Miro board, okay? So when you go to the link on, it's going to ask you for your name, your email ID, your password of your choice. Then you check your email. You're going to get a 6-digit code. Once you complete the registration, then you can skip a lot of these things, what your theme is, etc., etc. You can skip that. And once you have a profile, all you got to do is you got to come here on the link which I sent on the Zoom chat. And what it will do is it's going to give me requests for access. I can see that none of you have requested access so far. But as soon as you start looking at the board, it's going to bring me all the access requests, and then I can provide you the access. Okay.
Yeah, so please feel free to, ask any questions, and we will be happy. I'm pasting the link again so for the folks who joined a little late. So the way Miro tool works is you need to have an account, and if you feel you want to have fun and getting engaged, then I would recommend that you create your account quickly. It's very easy. I tried it yesterday with Divya, and it took me hardly a few seconds. So Divya, Krish has requested. Can you admit him for Miro?
Done that.
Okay. Yeah. So this exactly what Krish did, right? So create your account. It will go to Divya. She can add you, and then we can, we can get started. So we'll give a minute or two for everyone. So Divya, do you have a timer you want to turn on so that we can give them time, and then we can.
Yeah, I sent a request, Divya. This is Ganesh. If you could see me.
Okay, Ganesh, I'll just check now. So guys, this is also for you when you create your board, okay, is learning. I see Krishnan Kumar hovering over. As you can also see, you can see the collaborators who are moving around your Miro board, okay? So when you have to provide the access, there's a bell icon here. You click on that and it takes you to, for example, Ganesh is requesting access, so I can give access, invitation. So basically he gets the access, and whenever you work with people, you will need to ensure that before they come to your session, they do have access to your Miro board. It's always nice to do it as something which is for your session as opposed to something that's in your session, okay? The people who asked for access, they should have the access now. Please let us know if you feel like you can't really access the board yet. Okay. All right. Cool. So while the others are looking at their access requests, I can see web request coming in, giving him the now. And while giving this access, you can choose what's the kind of, what's the ability they have, whether you can edit your board, whether they can only see your board, what do you want to give them as access? You can also choose that. Okay. So we're going to talk about, while others are trying to come on board, let me see if there are any new requests.
Question, Divya, this is Ganesh. So
Go for it.
So even if, though you are the creator of the board, I was just a user, but still I'm also able to allow others, right? Is that how the Miro works?
So it depends on whether you have a paid version or a free version. What I'm showing you today is a
Okay,
paid it's a free version, but you have a paid version. You can actually make someone else also a owner of the board.
okay,
And we'll see what it means to be owner of the board. Okay,
sure.
cool.
Yeah, so I think we have enough folks. I think while others are joining, so I see around 8 to 9 people already on.
Cool. So let's see how it works, okay? Let's do a quick walkthrough. So after you made your profile, this is the screen that you come to, okay? There is concept of team. What you can do is create your own team, and the teams have boards. So right now my team is called Miro. I can easily create a new team, let's say test one. And when I get this team on your free account, there is a limit of how many teams you can have. So you see, if you ask for new teams, they ask you to pay, right? But if you're creating your first team, it's free. And in that team, what you have the ability to do is to click on boards, okay? So what you are seeing on the screen is the board. My board is right now called Miro Fun Board. I can create boards for free. And once you've created a board, you have a screen like this. You can create a blank board, you can create it with a template, and we'll talk about it. So when you come to the main screen, your main screen might look something like this. So there are 3 arrows at the bottom left. When you click on them, you get a little bit of tool sets here, which you can explore. So what I would recommend you to do is to click the first one called frames, which is this box over here. So just explore it and see if you can click on the frames, okay? And then once you've done that, you have an ability to go to any of the frames by clicking on them. What I want you to do right now is come to I'm here, okay? And then once you come here, choose, this is your panel from where you can choose different things. I'm going to show you how.
So that would be slide 13, right? If you look at the frames, the 13th slide, 13th frame. If you are wanting to jump to the frame, yeah, continue here.
Okay, so we're going to frame number 2 right now, which says I'm here. Okay, so what I want you to do is come to that frame and then click a sticky note. Okay, so on this panel next to your frames, you'll get a sticky note, which is the 4th option from the top. Krishan, you've actually chosen a block rather than a sticky note. So click on the sticky note, choose a color of your choice. All right. And once you click, it gives you an ability. So as you can see, I created a sticky note and then you can edit it. I can say Divya Jain, South Africa, lead agile coach. And you can type whatever you want to do. I can change the size of the sticky note. I can edit it. So that's what I want you to do. Just see, can you add a sticky note? I do see that some of you, I see Piyush has added himself as a lean agile coach from South Africa. Hi, Ranjit from Hyderabad. Okay. I see Krishna is stuck with a block right now. You can just select it and delete it if you want, Krishna. Let us know if you struggle changing it. But I can see most of you got the sticky note right. And some of you have actually started experimenting with the font, which is so cool. So actually, when you come to the sticky note, you can create a font. You can choose if it's left oriented, it's right oriented, how you want to see it. You can choose the color, you can choose the size of the sticky. My favorite is the tagging. And that's what I want to show you. So you can actually tag yourself, let's say a coach. So I tag myself as a coach. We can tag ourselves as, let's say, lean and SPC consultants, whatever you want to tag it. So what's the cool thing is, once I've tagged something as a coach, whatever is the tag, just experiment with it, because I can promise you when your board gets complex, this is something you're going to love. So what I can do is come to search and look for coach, right? So you can see that there's Ganesh, who has tagged himself as Good Luck Ganesh and coach, right? So I can very quickly search who are the people.
So Divya, how do you tag?
So you go to your sticky and you see this little button here which says add tag. Yeah. So just imagine the power of it. You're trying to visualize your team on a whiteboard, and you can tag all the developers. You can tag all the testers, or you're trying to put stories. You can tag it to a feature. How cool is that, right? Yeah. Fabulous. All right. I see most of us have got our stickies, right? Are there any questions so far? Any problems with tagging? Any problems with putting up stickies?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. And after you create your tags, you see, you can actually see this little sticky, little tags here, you know. So Piyush is Agile coach. We have a SPC Agile coach here. Fabulous. Okay. All right, maybe we can go around the room and you can just tell us what was your experience and where you're from. Okay, so I've already gone, Piyush has already gone. Parag, how about you going next? And then you can nominate the next person.
Yeah, I think going good. I mean, in terms of getting into the tool, exploring with little features. Good going, Divya. Thanks.
All right,
Ganesh,
fabulous.
next.
Oh, was it my name? Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks, Parag. I think this is good. I think it's a collaboration, and we are collaborating. So that itself is a good news. It's our learning curve. And I will tag Ranjit from Hyderabad.
Hey, hi guys, this is Ranjit. Thank you. Actually, this is something that our organization also wants to explore, and good that this session is happening at the right time for me. And this is great collaboration, and I'm having fun here. I think trying to explore things already. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cool.
I will nominate Sunil from Pune. If he has already done, then maybe someone else.
Yeah. Hi guys, very good evening, and thank you Divya and other people who are organizing this. I little worked on Miro and similar collaborative tools. So good to see we all are together from the different locations and learning together. Thank you.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, anybody who wants to go next, want to say hello, talk to us about where they're from, how they're feeling. I'm more than happy forward.
I can go next. I'm Krishna from Bangalore. I'm an agile coach. So yeah, I have used Miro to very recently started using it for last couple of months. So, but a lot of things, other things to also to learn about this, like this tagging. I've not really explored it fully. So I'm learning new things. Yeah. Thanks for this session for all the organizers and you too as well, Divya. Thank you.
Fabulous. Kamlesh, I've provided you the access too. All right, so welcome everyone. And the first thing we learned was tagging, okay? So while we are at it, we're gonna look at the navigation overall, right? So we talked briefly about the boards, right? So you can always go to the Miro homepage. You see this go to boards option. So on your Miro board, on the top, the icon takes you to the boards, right? So when you come here, it's very easy to create a new board. Let's try it together, okay? So you come to your new board and you say, I want to create a board. As soon as you say you create a board, it takes you to a blank board because that's what I chose. But coming here, it takes you to something called as templates. These templates, what's already available on Miro. So let's say I want a template on mind map, okay? And so it gives me something like this. It's all editable. Let's say test 1. My problem is that I want to test today. Okay, why do I want to test? Because I want to have fun. Okay, so it's quite cool. And you see these templates, they actually give you an option to extend various loops, and they change it for you. So if you truly want to learn what Miro can do for you, towards the end of the session, we are all going to play in the play area like kids, okay? So we'll see how it all works out. But that's what you can do, and that's what is just creating a board, you know? What you call it, and I see quite a few of you have started doing your own boards, which has made my board view only. So let's just wait till the time we can, I'm going to duplicate it anyway, and I'm going to share a new link to all of you, share it with the same people. Okay, so I'm going to share that link to you. Please do not create any boards right now, because otherwise we won't be able to work on what I'm trying to work on. You will get an opportunity to do so. Okay, cool. Going back to my frames, going to navigation. So we talked about what boards are. Okay, the second one is the teams. So you have an opportunity to be a part of various teams. You can create your own team. Until the time you don't share the link to that area, nobody else knows what boards you create, okay? If you are not on a paid version, your boards are public, which basically means that if you are working on anything, anybody can come and see it if they know the team area, okay? And then is the general navigation. The first one we talked about was the frames. The second one is quite important, which is how do you move around the board? You know, a lot of times people feel like, I don't know how to see it. It's too complex for me right now. So one of the ways to do it is this. So if you click on this, you see it's a normal mouse pointer, which allows me to select stuff. But if I click on this again, do you see now it's become a hand? Okay. And with the hand, you can move the screen around. Another thing you can do is the pin map. If you come down, you'll see something like this, 135%, or you might see something like this, or you might see something like this, which allows you to see where what is. You can pin the map. It tells you what are the various areas on your Miro board, and you can simply move this frame around, which takes you to various areas. You can also zoom in and zoom out. So that's also what you can do. You can also fit it to the screen, but that's your navigation. But my favorite is the frames, because it takes you to the exact area that you want to focus on, okay? Then after this particular button and learning how to move without really selecting stuff, you have an option to look at various templates even here. So even on my existing board, I can use multiple templates. I can have a section for retrospectives or whatever I like. And as you walk through it, you will see there are quite a few templates available for strategy planning. If you want to just create a Gantt chart, my personal favorite, which quite a few people like, is PI planning. Or if you're doing inception or discovery or your problem solving workshop. So there are quite a few of them available, okay? And as soon as you add it, it adds that flow diagram, you see, to your own area. And what you could do is you can group these objects and put them in a frame. So if I want to frame this, what I will do is I'll simply come down and I'll say frame. What type of frame do I want? I want a custom frame. So it framed the whole area, okay? So you can choose what you want to frame and how you want to frame it based on where you are. You can add as many templates as you like, okay? The next part is to just put some text. For example, I want to put here a text message to say, this is a chest. So it allows me to put in a text message and also then change the font if I want to change the color, to highlight it, to bullet it. So you can, it's like a normal text field, what you have in PowerPoint or Word, but it's not blocked. You know, it doesn't have a block structure around it. If you need a block structure around it, you can bring it various shapes. And just like you do in PowerPoint, I can also type here, right? That's you working with the shapes. If I want to connect two objects, I have 3 types of pointers through which I can connect. And you see all the shapes, they give you these stars. So if I move something, my arrow changes with it. How cool is that, right? Never losing an arrow, never lose an arrow behind. And if at any point you feel like, I don't want this, just Control Z. The operations are quite similar to your Word or PowerPoint, editing there, editing here. The shortcuts are quite similar, okay? Then the next in the navigation after your connection lines is a pen. If you want to write something, my personal favorite is Smart Drawing. If you are using just like a simple board, okay, and you want to draw a circle, and you want the circle to become an oval on its own, right? My normal circles always turn into ovals, but that's Smart Drawing. You know, you draw something and it makes it the perfect shape for you. How cool is that, right? And then of course, if you don't like it, you can erase it. And even with the Smart Drawing, you can erase something just by doing this. It's going to take it away. Okay. So that's Smart Drawing for you, but you can also have a highlighter to write with, a pen, a lasso to write with, whatever you like, okay? My next favorite is comment. So for example, you're reviewing something, you're talking about something, you want to capture a note, you can just come here and say @ let's say Piyush is on the call. So I can tag Piyush and say, I like this functionality, right? And maybe I can ask him a question. I want to make it fun, maybe put in a sticky, and there it is. Now it's a message which I can also mark as resolved. As soon as I mark it as resolved, it's gone now. But if I do not mark it as resolved, it's going to stay. And what it does is every time you put a comment in, somebody can easily come and search through the tags you've put in, through the words you've used in your comments. And after, let's say we keep it as a test 1, if you leave it like that, then this is how you see it. So it's an unresolved comment that we still need to look at. So what you could do is you could actually collaborate your ideas over one particular topic as much as you want through this comment functionality too. Then is the frames. You can have a frame.
Divya, I responded. If you check the notification.
Okay, cool. That's fabulous. You see, we already have a conversation going. Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Loving it. Great. So what you could also do is, because we do this tool, use this tool for design thinking, for creating wireframes, you can have these frames of particular sizes. Frames are nothing but content types. They really help you to, one, in your navigation. Secondly, when you take exports, you can actually export this whole information, which we'll do it towards the end of the session, in a PDF or an Excel sheet or a CSV format. So you don't lose any.
Divya, one question, if I can interrupt. So you explain about these frames and how you can add other like text and boxes and smart shapes and everything. So like when we have so many people collaborating on the same canvas, so how would we make sure that someone does not accidentally move the frame or something which may... So
that's a big question. I like that. So what you could do is, you see somebody has already created a frame. So if you don't want to keep it, you delete it. You typically don't want your images to move, and you can lock them. So you can
how do you lock them? That was my question. Yeah.
So to lock something, you select that particular object, and then it gives you a lock like this. So you click on the object. Let's say we come on creating your Miro profile because somebody moved it. So we put it in the right place, and then you see this open lock button here. I'll press on it, and now it's locked. Perfect. For anybody move this, they have to first long press and unlock, and then they can make the changes. So if you want to keep it consistent, nobody should move it around, just lock your objects and you're going to be fine. Okay, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
So Divya, so just to follow up a question on that. So you can lock any object within a frame, or is it for the entire frame?
So if you select the entire frame, it locks all the objects. So you can choose, you can group them. It's just like PowerPoint. You have to group the objects and then lock them together. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Fabulous, no problem. And then after we talked about the frames, you can choose whatever size so that when you export it, it comes in the right size, right print values and all of that. And then you can actually get images from Google if you want. You can create tables and charts. You know, I can very easily create a pie chart like this, you know. Can you see? I can put in the title, I can lock it, I can make changes, I can see what I want to see, I can edit it, whatever I want to do. You can create charts on Miro. So your status reporting, a lot of that you can actually do here. And you can put in emojis, you can bring in Kanban boards, grids. We'll see that in a bit now. Okay. From there, we're going to move on to templates. So if you go to templates in Miro, we saw them. You have two places from where you can get these templates. One is to go back to the boards and create a new board. If you're inside a board, then you can simply come to the second option on the left, which is templates, click on it and choose what you like. My personal favorite is Miroverse. The reason I like Miroverse so much, and there's a link over here on the top, you can see, you can click and you can go to the Miroverse. Reason why I like it so much is because this is where you can come publish your own template. If you want to give to the community, you can also use the templates which people have created, right? So as you can see, there are beautiful templates available, really funny. You know, you can have a continental theme workshop. You don't have to create it. You can simply click on it and it adds it to your existing board, or you can create a new board out of it. Okay. So I quite like this. And when you start experimenting, do experiment with Miroverse. All right. Then you can also create frame inside a frame. And that's what I really like a lot. And I'll tell you why. So what you can do is you can create a really big frame. Okay, so let's say something like this. And I can say, and I can call it team 1. Okay, let's say I have 3 teams who will work on this area. So this takes me to a high level area, you know, and I can choose what that high level looks like. This allows you to zoom in as well as zoom out as much as you want. So when you bring somebody in, you can just tell them, go to team 1, and this is where they will come, you know. And if you see, this is a frame inside a frame, which is quite cool. And when you do your print settings, you can first print out the whole big frame and then the smaller frames inside it. And you can use it to set work areas for your different teams, for your breakout areas, for whatever. And you have an ability to put, I have personally used it to have more than 150 frames. I'm quite sure you can have more, but I just haven't explored it for more than that. And you don't have to worry about, you can see we already
so
still
will it impact the performance of the canvas if we have many frames?
So what I have noticed is there is no problem, because when you go, it still loads the elements and components of that area. What Miro does is doesn't try to load everything on the screen. It's going to load what you're working on. So if I go to creating a Miro profile or navigation, then that's what it loads for me. It's not trying to load the entire screen. So I haven't really seen a lag, but maybe one of you can tell me if you have. I wouldn't know.
Sure.
But I've seen it's not a problem. It really focuses on updating the area you're working on. Okay. Cool. So lots of templates templates on Miroverse. Explore it, see what you can use. If you want to do PI planning, maybe try the ones which the community has published. I like the templates published for team launches, for icebreakers, quite a cool ones there. Okay. We looked at creating a frame inside a frame. The next favorite for me is
Just one question.
Go for it.
Yeah, is template for survey also exist in Miro?
There are, yeah. That's a great question. You can do surveys on Miro, but remember, you will still be able to see all the information. What you can do though is to embed your link, which takes people to your survey, and you can still import the results from it. But you know, if you put in a survey, people would basically be able to see each other's information. There's no information.
I think what probably he's trying to ask is that within the Miro, can we do live survey where polling, like can you do polling right into the, create a poll and then get everyone to vote or dot vote or something like that?
You can. That's a very good question. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, you can. There is a voting option here, but you only get it if you're on a paid version, okay? But my go-to way of doing it is there is a template that takes you to dot voting, okay? So what we do is we pick up this dot votes, okay? We add it in our framework, we put the participant's name, and when we are voting, we basically pick up our doc and we drag and drop it to the area which we want to vote on. And you know that this dot is for Divya, this dot is probably for Piyush, and you know, people can decide what color they have. That's just another way of doing it if you're on a free version. But if your organization, you know, allows you to have a paid version, or you go ahead and do it, then they have a fabulous voting feature here. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure. So even it also generate the results like how many votes specific items got, any summary or anything else.
If you use the voting option, it will give you all of that. If you use my way of doing it, which is these dot votes, you'll have to count it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My maths teacher is so proud that I know that. Yeah, that's what I do, guys. I'm not on a paid version.
So basically what you're saying is the tool has the capability, but if you want to use that feature, then you have to go for the paid version.
Exactly. Otherwise, make your maths teacher proud.
Yeah, actually, I used it for retrospective, and you know, when the time of identifying the top items to improve or even to keep, you know, people were doing some dot voting, and that has to be manually counted. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is one of the challenge which I observed. Another is if I actionize it, you know, how I can actionize it, you know, with owner, something like in tabular format, and any sort of notification will be get, you know, if you miss the due date or, you know, any changes happened, something like that. Is this thing existing in Miro?
Yes, it does. In fact, that's our next topic, my favorite topic, to have a card which has a due date, which has a tag. And let's explore that. So maybe you can use it for your action items. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, sure, Divya, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a Kanban board for us. Okay. So let's add it. I'm going to ask for a filled example because we're just working with it. Let's see how it works. Okay. Let me zoom it for you. So this is our Kanban board. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm adding a card. So this particular format, sorry, let me change it to a, so let's say test 1. Okay. When I put a card here, I can expand the card, something like this, that allows me to put a description. Okay. And what it also allows me is to use the same way as we did earlier. And it's giving me all the tags that we've previously used, right? So let's say this is Android. and let's say it's a test, okay? So you can tag whatever you want to tag. You can assign it to an individual. Let's get, are you happy? So it's assigned to Vaibhav, and by when will he do it? So in an ideal world, you know, Vaibhav can go assign this himself to him, and then he can put a due date, let's say 2 days after Diwali, yeah? He can do all of that. And now, if you look at my card, I know it's for an Android, it's test, I see a high level description, I see a due date, right? I can put in links, I can put in attachments, and what it allows me to do, duplicate, you copy, you can link it to another item, you know, I can link it to maybe a Confluence page outside of this Miro board, so I'll always know what somebody is working on. I can edit this Kanban board, and I can look at
Can we, Divya, is it, does Miro have the feature that it can also integrate with tools like Jira or similar agile lifecycle management tool?
Yes, you can. So you can actually integrate it with quite a few tools. Thank you for that question. You can choose what you want to integrate it with. So Jira is one of the top integrators. I know it's not showing, maybe we'll see it on this side. Jira is one of the top tools you can integrate it with. You can integrate it with Rally. I know a few companies who are doing that. We in our organization, because we're still on a free version and we truly believe that we're going to go back to normal fairly quickly, we haven't really linked it with anything, but there is a possibility to link it with your tool sets and get import the information and export it back to that particular tool. Okay. You can also export this information. So the reason I got a filled in template so that I could show you, I can export all this information into an Excel, and you see it comes out in a CSV format. And any of you who have worked with CSV, I don't know if you can see my screen, but it allows you to access all of the information which is on the board on an Excel sheet now. You know, you can work through it. And another cool feature that you can work on is the bulk mode, which a lot of people sometimes don't know. So if you want to add, let's say 5 stickies all together, you can go to the bulk mode, say test 1, test 2, test 3. And as soon as you say done, it gives you 3 stickies, right? Similarly, when you're adding cards, when you come here, you can add a card, and this card that you've added can be then changed. You can do whatever you want to do with it. You can also, you see this card is outside of the board. Let me just remove it from here so you can see it. Let me bring it to cards on Miro. Let's see if you just want an individual card, okay? You don't want a Kanban board, but you can have all the same functionalities. Now I can tag it. So let's say you were doing a retrospective. You can tag it, you can assign that retrospective item to, let's say, Sean. You can give them a target, or they can add their targets. Let's be agile. You can say which Jira work item does it link to. You can do all of that, and that can be your retrospective actionable. So you can create a card, you can edit it, you can tag it, you can due date it, you can search it. You know, so if I search, it highlights because this is the tag I'm searching for. If I search for SPC, because let's maybe search for test. You see, it's taking us to the test card. So I can directly go to the test card if I want through this search. You see how cool it is? It takes you to various locations on your board. So that's also possible. The next one is settings and follow me. I quite like that because it gives you a great...
Yeah, Divya, one more question. Is that integrations with the other systems are part of free version, or we have to buy a license for it?
You have to buy a license.
Okay. And for any kind of interface, whether it's a Jira, Rally, or anything, or some they provide, and for some we have to buy.
So I haven't really explored it with the free version. I do know it's available, and it wasn't just allowed in our organization because of, if you are not on a paid version, your information, remember, is accessible to everyone. And that's why we use it a lot for whiteboarding, but like you remove information from your whiteboard, that's what we use it for. Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
So
So what you
Divya,
can
I have a question.
go for it.
On the Kanban board that you showed, have you explored within this Kanban board? Can you set whip limit and can you create swim lanes, or is it just the basic features are available in Miro?
No, you can create swim lanes. You see, team A is the first swim lane. Team B is the next swim lane.
Oh, okay, okay. And whip limit as well?
No, you can't really. You can actually. You can change it here. You see whip limit of 9, 10, and 5. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Fabulous. I'm just going to get rid of these extra ones here. Cool. Going back, so settings and follow me. A lot of times, when you are facilitating, you're training, you want people to look at what you are looking at. So stay on your board where you are, and you'll see the Miro changing for you. Okay. Oh, it's not working for me today. I don't know why, but you basically click on bring to me, and it'll bring everyone to settings and follow me. I have an ability to say everybody must follow me wherever I'm going. Usually always works if you're the board owner, but for some reason, some magical reason, it doesn't want to work today. Maybe it will. Okay, I know why that didn't work. Let me just quickly check. Okay, another option that you have is to see if you want to see the collaborators' cursors or not. If you believe that there are too many cursors moving around and it's disruptive, you can uncheck it, and then you won't see anybody's cursors, even if they're on the same screen. But if you want to see the collaboration, I think the names on the cursors is helpful because you know who's trying to make a change and everything. So you can select that option. Okay, trying that again. You can also use the same link here to say if you want to see the cursors or not. The other settings which are available is if you want to get alerts on all the threads. What I really like is the navigation mode, right? How you can use your mouse or how you can use your trackpad. You can even learn it here, what navigation works for you, what you want to use, how you're going to scroll, how you're going to pinch. So whatever it is, you can really apply it here, change it here, learn from here. It's quite cool. You can also set a start view for people. So as you can see, currently there's no particular start view. So what I can choose is I can say the start view will be the welcome screen, okay? And then you can just set the start view there. So when somebody new comes, they're going to come to the welcome screen first, okay? So that's one thing you can do. So you can integrate it with various apps depending on if you're on a paid version or where you are. And I don't know why the screen isn't, oh, it's come up, cool. So you have voting plugins, but you got to upgrade for that. You have a countdown timer, you have a clusterer, quite a few apps. You can even integrate it with Microsoft Teams if you want, that's for free. You can have user story mapping. Slack is something I've seen a lot of organizations use. You can even use things like planning poker. So quite a few integrations available, which you can probably explore in your free time. Some of them are free, some of them are not, but that's something that's available to you. Another functionality that's available to you is your commenting functionality, So if you come down, you have frames and then presentation, and then after that is comments, which basically we saw, right? You can see if somebody commented on the board, if you sent a note, you can see all the comments and to whom it was given. Right now, we do not have any comments, that's why I don't see it. The next one is the chat functionality. I can actually tag someone and say hello. Let me say hello to Savi. Okay, so you see Savi and everyone can see that I said hello. So you can have a parallel chat going. You can have screen sharing and calls through it. You can have video chats, but that's on the paid version. You can put a timer for everyone, again, on the paid version. And you can also see what activities happened, right? We deleted something. So if you are in a situation that somebody did something, you want to understand who did it, you can actually see the activities too. So quite a few features there. Another one, which is quite cool, is the presentation mode. So you can actually treat it almost like a presentation. So have it on a full screen, hide all of this here. And so let me go back to the frame and say I want to go in the presentation mode, and you can go one frame by one frame, something like this. Okay, so it allows you to almost present using Miro, right? You don't really have to think about using anything else if you are using the Miro. And then we've already talked about the search you can do. We talked about the comments and the chat functionality, which you can use to communicate within Miro. We talked about the presentation functionality, talked about the shortcuts, okay? We talked about getting bulk templates into the area, bulk stickies into the area. What I really want you to do now is to see and explore in the play area. Okay, so if you go to frame number 13, which is the play area, let's see, guys, what do you want to do? What did you learn? Do you want to put in some stickies? Do you want to put in some templates? The floor is all yours. And if you have any further questions, but that brings us to an end of the Miro session that we have. The activity that I would like to do for each one of you is to pick up a template, bring it into the play area, and see if you can make changes. Okay, let's see who's the fastest. Who's the first person who's going to start adding templates into the play area?
Yeah, you can use the Miroverse also, right? Where you can just.
You can, yes.
So which is that frame from where you can access that?
It's 13 dot play area. That's the place where you can work. Okay, I'm going to get out of the presentation mode so just to get out of the presentation mode, you click on this, then you get all your options back. You can go to the play area, then go to the templates. And from here, you can access all the templates which are on Miroverse and choose what you like and add them to your work area. Okay. Cool, let's see who's the winner today.
Who has the fastest finger? Fastest mouse.
Yeah, fastest mouse first. Any question, guys? Was this useful?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Divya, and of course, Piyush, for organizing this. Parag, I think this was very useful to learn different aspects of Miro. I've heard about the tool, but this is a good way to learn it by doing it. So thanks for that.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
Divya, very well presented. In fact, in such a short period, you could have the continuous flow. That was very nice.
Thank you so much, Vaibhav. That's kind of you.
Yeah, guys, so if you want to appreciate Divya, what I would suggest is that, there is a reaction button on the bottom. So you can use the reaction button on the bottom and give your appreciation after when I say 1, 2, 3. So everyone we can get together. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, go ahead and make your nice. Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That is so sweet.
Yeah, so thanks, Divya. This was really enlightening. I think we all benefited with your experience and exposure of the Miro tool. And I think this is just the start. I think I should really thank Parag, because he's the guy who pushed all of us. And he motivated every one of us that we should do something like this. And I think it just emerged, right? And I think this is a great, like we had at one time almost 20 people join, and that's really awesome for the first session ever we did as a group. And I think we'll do this on a more continuous basis. And if anyone would like to volunteer and be a part of the organizer group, feel free to come to me, Parag, or Divya, and we will be happy to include you in any. So this is a first series, right? Now we just completed the Miro. The next session is on November 27. So I did not send the invite intentionally because I wanted to get the feedback from everyone. So I would, Divya is looking for your feedback. So use the poll everywhere so that we can get everyone's feedback here. And then based on that, we will learn from it, and we'll the next session we'll work around, making it more effective. So feel free to bring the bouquets as well as brickbats so that we learn and we grow, right? So again, thank you to Global Agility to provide this platform, and thank you to Ganesh, because you see here on the top left, you have this live streaming. So actually you could, if you didn't have access to Zoom, this invite, you could still use YouTube and be part of that, and you could see this live. And after this session is over, we are going to, record, we are going to save this automatically. It's going to be there in our YouTube channel of Global Agility, and we will share the link of it so that we can all benefit, and those who want to refer it or re-look at what Divya presented and showed, we can go back to that and do that. And also, if someone was wanting to join but could not, so this could help in getting us to learn. So I look forward to the next session, which will be on mural and a more equal and more participation on this. So thank you, guys. And if anyone has to share anything or say anything, so feel free to chime in.
So I think thanks to Divya and Piyush, it was an idea, but you took a lead and got it finally done, the first session. I think the group that we had was becoming very transactional, and that's where we thought that we should do something constructive in terms of sharing and learning from each other. And as Piyush said, we really want to build onto this beyond the tools as well. So any new topics, any presenters, volunteers, welcome. So thank you, Piyush and Divya, for a great session.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Parag. And thanks everyone for joining in this very engaging and interactive session. And I look forward to the next one. So thank you, everyone. See you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And
Thank you all.
Thank you for such beautiful feedback. It's very encouraging. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. Bye. Have a lovely evening or day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bye-bye.
You too.